Hello everyone, my name is Jeff Rolka. Thank you for checking out my video. Mixed range, the so-called area of transition, what I would often refer to as the zona di passaggio, has some kind of unique challenges. And there's an exercise, if you've watched my other videos, you will have done with me in the past. And it sounds like this. And I might have gone through a variety of different vowels and things like that. You can use all kinds of different vowels for that. But I was thinking about it the other day and practicing, and I was struggling with this idea about having an exercise that would help with tonal onsets in the zona di passaggio, mixed range, and above for that matter as well. And I practiced this, and then I did a slight adaptation to it, and I got really excited. And so I am going to show that exercise to you now. The goal here is to develop balance as we move towards the secondo passaggio, and then maintain that balance as we do the tonal onset in the zona di passaggio or above. I am going to show this exercise to you in a variety of different keys and ranges, and I will tell you for whom those various ranges are appropriate. There's not going to be any low singing in this video, not really. So if you haven't warmed up yet, you might warm up a little bit before trying to find the pattern here that works best for you. There's plenty of videos to choose from on my channel, if I may say so myself. Thank you if you've chosen to subscribe. If you haven't yet, I hope that you'll do so now. If you want these exercises along with other warm-up videos and questions from comments and all that other stuff, check out Patreon, where I send all of these out as MP3s, and you can take them wherever you need to practice. Now, let me first show you the adaptation that I made to this exercise. And I'm going to take you through it slowly, because there's no need to rush. And in a fairly comfortable register, I would imagine that most of us can sing probably here. Mezzos and sopranos, you might be an octave up. But we have that first section. You can breathe at that point, or you can maintain your engagement and get ready for the second section. If you're really struggling with the tonal onsets, don't take the breath. Maintain your engagement. Make sure that you've got a good breath at the beginning of the whole passage, but don't take a breath here if you're struggling a lot. If you want to challenge yourself a little bit, having practiced it a bit, then you can incorporate the breath later on. The second half, so the whole thing together, you'll notice that there are a few differences. I mean, not the least of which, starting on the fifth, you will notice that the ascending scale in the second half is a scale instead of an arpeggio. This is harder than an arpeggio. It requires us to remain engaged and maintain our flexibility as we proceed up towards the zona di passaggio, up towards the secondo passaggio. If you get too heavy on the bottom, it will prevent you from doing that effectively. But again, we have the first half of the exercise to help us gauge it. So we are going to go from the bottom to the top here, and I'm actually going to start right there for our lower vocal types. Let's begin with just E. Now, for many of us, that will be a nice way to practice that pattern and get used to it. For our basso profundo vocalists, that was pretty much right up to your secondo passaggio and then just back down from little ways. We're not going to cover a terribly wide range for any of the Fox. That's not the point. The point is to get comfortable with that tonal onset in the zona di passaggio nearing the secondo passaggio. Now there are a variety of baritones and baritenors. I'm going to include the baritenors in with the baritones because we're talking in terms of semitones here. The baritone, general kind of middling baritone voice will have a secondo passaggio between D and E flat. Baritenor is typically going to be around E. So we're going to start here in F, and we're going to go up to B flat, and then back down, so we can cover the baritones and baritenors. Let's do E and A this time, just to show you how that would sound. Now, for the next key area, we are going to cover from G to C. And tenors, mezzos, and sopranos can actually use this next section. But the sopranos and mezzos aren't using it for the same reason that the tenors are. The tenors are going to be practicing moving around their zona di passaggio and over their secondo passaggio. Mezzos and sopranos, mezzo-sopranos and sopranos, you will be practicing your primo passaggio. And if you are singing popular music, this is a critical transition that you have to learn how to make. If you don't, you won't be fully accessing your thyroarytenoid dominant singing voice, your chest voice, and that can arbitrarily constrain your available range. Now, you're not going to get a ton more range below that primo passaggio point. Mezzos will get kind of a bit much. You'll get like a perfect, what is it? You'll get a minor sixth, give or take, even a minor seventh possibly, depending on the voice. Sopranos will get about a perfect fourth more range if they manage that transition. But most popular songs do use that area, and they tend to go below that E flat F4 point. And so learning to make that transition is really, really important for popular genres. Tenors, mezzos, sopranos. Let's do A and A this time. The next key area is only going to be slightly higher, and we are going to be working over this area right here. And this, we are looking specifically at our contralto, alto contralto friends. The alto contralto voice, however you want to label it, they get those two words, contralto and alto, frequently get used synonymously. Not if we're talking about choir parts, but the voice fox. There will be a minor registration event that happens in this area. Mezzos, you are almost certainly also going to have some type of minor registration event in this area. So we're going to cover those two areas in this next set of exercises. For the alto vocalists, this isn't so much the middle voice registration event as it is the primo passaggio, getting into the zona di passaggio of the voice. For the mezzos, this is your middle voice registration event. And soprano vocalists, you will be in this general area as well, but it's not quite the same thing, and so it ends up being a little bit higher, which we'll cover with the alto secundo passaggio. So you might try it here, sopranos, as well, and see how that suits you, or you might wait just a little bit longer. At any rate, we are going to begin here in the key of C. And let's do A and A again. I will show you here. A, Actually, you know what? I take that back. Let's start in B. And. The next area is getting into the secundo passaggio of the contralto vocalists, the zona de passaggio of the sopranos and the mezzo-sopranos. You're right here along with the altos, so we're going to cover both secundo passaggi at the same time. The secundo passaggio for the alto voice is typically here. Mezzos will typically be about here. Of course, individual voices will vary a little bit, so yours might be slightly one side or the other. Sopranos, you're well into your zona de passaggio at this point, above the middle voice registration event. And so you might do these exercises as well, just to refine your technique in that area, though I will cover your secundo passaggio in just one moment. We are going to begin right here, a major second below alto secundo passaggio, minor third below mezzo secundo passaggio. If you're unfamiliar with this range, you might start with the lip trill. We will once again, let's do ah and o. It'll sound like this. I will show you here. Finally, soprano secundo passaggio. Mezzos, you might do this one too as your technique improves, but we are going to start right at your secundo passaggio. The very first exercise will be A flat major, which means that the fifth scale degree is this E flat, which is, again, the individual differences make me a little bit here, a little bit lower, a little bit higher, but that's going to be right about where your secundo passaggio is. Let's do ah and o once again. We will go to there. And this video was meant more as a practice in singing this exercise in these ranges. You're going to hear this exercise in the warm-up videos in the future. But I wanted to try introducing the exercise and also talk about some of the benefits of it that you can use and hopefully work with. So thank you so much for watching. My name is Jeff. Again, thank you if you've chosen to subscribe, and if you haven't yet, I hope that you'll do so now. And once again, if you want this exercise, as well as my PDF practice sheets that I use for these videos, you can get all that at Patreon. Thank you one last time. Take really good care of your voices, enjoy singing, and hopefully we'll see you again. Bye.